Greetings Aries, hey, welcome to your February reading with me. And I'm going to say, guys, where are you all? Are you on holiday or something? Your reading for January didn't even breach the 1,000 viewer mark. And in comparison, the Taurians had 50,000 views. So I'm thinking Aries must have been very busy, or maybe on holiday, or just not too interested in last month's tarot or astrological or insight perspective. So here's hoping a few more of you join for this month, for February. We've just come out of the eclipse season and the energy of the 10th of January when the eclipse was in place, plus the very powerful conjunction of Jupiter, Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. These are the times of immense change that we have never seen before. We're also transiting through Pisces into the age of Aquarius, on top of all of these very rare astrological events. So we've just finished the eclipse season for now. We will move into it again in June and July, when there will be 3 eclipses. Again, that is a little unusual. So I guess, Aries, let's see what's in store for you guys for February, and we will just use a whole different array of cards and see what is coming forth. So for Aries for February, remember to check your moon and rising signs as well. You might find them just as interesting. So this is for Aries. There's your first one out, and that is the sun. We've just been talking about the eclipse and the moon and the power and energy that that had on everyone. So perhaps Aries, you may have actually had quite an important reaction or action through the ecliptical season. We also have the 5 of Wands popping out, and you also have the Truth card, number 20, which is the Judgment card. So a couple of really big, powerful major arcanas to start this month in February. And remember, this year is a leap year, so we do get an extra day. Now, if we, the Sun card is all about inspiration, creativity, new ideas, growth, expansion, conception, fertility, happiness, bliss, abundance. It really truly is a beautiful major arcana card, and one that is highly revered and enjoyed when it turns up in a reading. The Judgment card, on the other hand, is a little more somber, but not, it's not a card that brings in you know, negative vibrations. It brings in change more than anything else. So the Truth card talks to us about finding truth in an aspect of ourselves, or an aspect of a life, or a dynamic or situation that we have been involved in or traversing over a period of time. Now, this Judgment card is often seen as an epiphany or an aha moment, when you suddenly realize, my God, I've been doing something wrong all my life, or doing it the wrong way, or following the wrong people, or listening to the wrong information, or not connecting with myself, or not listening to myself. So it's feelings like that that can come about through the Judgment card. The 2 of them at the moment seem to me, they're quite different messages. You know, this one is all about expansion and happiness and euphoria, creativity and conception, and this one's far more detailed and more about analyzing and making some changes and feeling into the why situations are the way they are and how to move forward. It can also be about bringing balance into situations, whether or not they have been out of balance or out of kilter. This can include your perspectives or dynamics on life. It can also include friendships, relationships, your health, many different things. The obstacles and challenges is a Wands card, and it's a creative energy card, so it can come in terms of employment or your career or creative project you're working on. The 5 tends to be fairly transient, so it can be something that is just merging through. It can feel a little bit glitchy in the right here and now, but it generally means you are able to move through it if you apply some form of creativity or logic to these obstacles and challenges. This is a bridge that he's about to cross, and it's not that big a gap, and he will be able to either format or put something in the gap to walk across easily, or he will be able to jump across as well. Sometimes this can reference 5, as in 5 people who are playing a role in these little obstacles or challenges, 5 days, 5 weeks, even 5 hours sometimes, and you might find an answer or a solution. So coming a bit further in, let's see, I keep getting a jumper as such stuck in the middle of the deck, so I've been taking them out for you. Oh no, I really don't like him. He is the 7 of Swords, deception and envy. Now when he's around, I've noticed that globally there can be issues that go on, such as internet crashes, people gaining access into big establishments, government corporations, businesses, things like social platforms where information is taken or stolen or made public when it shouldn't be. But if we're not talking about the global level, we can be talking about somebody around you who is showing deception and or envy. Now this can be someone who you least expect, such as a friend or a family member. It can also be that there are dealings going on that are dodgy. Someone might be trying to rip you off, steal your private information. So be careful about passwords, things like your passports, your bank account numbers. There's also possibly some people who are just infiltrating your energetic field at some point and making like a negative vibration or glitches in the matrix. These people could be doing, people or person could be creating some of these obstacles and glitches by willpower or by perhaps wrong information that they are passing out. It is best to try and avoid these people. If you are introduced to someone that you don't trust or that seems too good to be true in the next short time or in or around the end of January or February, be very, very careful. Trust your instinct on this one. And at the same time, if you are doing something that is either holding the energies of deception or envy, let it go. It's not worth it. It will come back to bite you in the bum. Seriously, he is not that nice a card, and I do say when he turns up it's a pain that he's there, but there you go. You then received the total opposite, the spiritual union card, which is like 2 people amalgamating their energy field together to create a cooperative or a conglomeration or a business or a union or a relationship or a soul merging. This can be at a very heightened level, and really the 2 in here that seem to be glowing, as you can see by the cards, because John Holland, which this is his deck, he does have the most beautiful colour palette that's often involved with his cards, and this glow that is coming off these 2 seem to be harnessing each other and, you know, even further vitalizing that spiritual emanation or glow. So the spiritual union could be a relationship that already exists as well. It might be your intimate partner, and you could be growing more connected, or you could be furthering a spiritual study or like link or journey together. A spiritual evolution may be growing between you as well. There's the number 8 on the bowl down here, and most really intense spiritual unions are not just of this lifetime. They are very much about past life relationships, and they can often have karma involved in them as well. They can also be indicative of what a lot of people talk about in terms of a twin flame energy, but I think people have misunderstood or misrepresented, or the twin flame energy has been misrepresented. It can often be that it's your higher self or another aspect of you that is making contact and helping you to feel complete or more enlightened or more awakened or more connected to the cosmos, to the celestial energy. So sometimes this spiritual union can be your higher self or twin flame that you're accessing, and it is enabling you to feel these amazing portals of spiritual jumping, like hyper jumping, connection, feeling, bliss states, euphoria. So it's as if that energy is in another dimension, so it's in the spirit form. So this can be happening for some of you as well. This could also be a new love interest or a new person coming into your life where you form this beautiful spiritual union between you and you grow and learn from it. So some lovely energies in there, along with this glitchy thing in the middle. One hopes he doesn't come between this in any way. You might have to look out for something like that. Anyhow, another one from this deck, and then we will check and see from the Morgan Greer if any of the same cards emulate themselves in the reading. This is for Aries for February 2020. One more for Aries. Another big one, transformation, number 13, which of course is the death card. So you've actually pulled up some, you know, pretty big major arcanas, and especially in terms of judgment and death. These two have more of a similar resonance. It's about making this almighty transformation in your life. Now sometimes this can come through the physical or emotional or spiritual. For some of you this could be a transformation of a belief system or a transformation of your relationships in your life. You may be going through an awakening, an epiphany, an awareness. Some of you may be suddenly waking to the concept or understanding that you are expanding and feeling this almighty light coming into your life that is enabling you to ponder what your existence is and where you have been and where you will be heading. For some of you it is a truth that has been shown. And it could be a truth within a belief system or within relationships or a family, within your own inner being or your higher self. It could be a truth that carries back many, many generations, because right now we're going through a very karmic portal due to these planetary alignments that I've been talking about that haven't taken place for over 2,000 years. So this is taking us back in time of our soul's journey and reconnecting or reinitiating some of those lessons that our soul was requiring to learn. And this is why we are experiencing so many issues, if you might say, issues or events that take place for us in this current lifetime, and especially at this timeline in this lifetime. So the complexity of what is happening is very, very deep, and it runs through a plethora of different structures, timelines, dimensions, past lives, this life, thoughts, feelings, realities, alternative realities. So that is why we see and feel and experience often much more now than, say, people who were born in the 1800s. Their transformation was far less obvious. They were more following how society dictated things, and society had people fairly well regulated and ruled, so that you didn't have as much freedom to break free and find the inner truth of your own true calling. So there is some real depth here for you. Some of you might experience intense realizations or awakenings or deja vu events or synchronistic events as well, as these unfoldings and realizations start to take place for you. So with these cards, we have finished with that deck. Let's have a little look here at the Morgan Greer, and same thing again, and see if any of these cards are, you know, duplicating themselves. This time we have the 10 of Wands, whereas before we had the 5. So I did say to you it was fairly temporary. We seem to already be feeling this moving on with the 10 of Wands, but he still feels a little bit weighted down by the knowledge he has on board or the issues he has carried around with him. Sometimes this feels as though you've been carrying people and doing a lot of the work, like the hard physical work, as well as the mental and emotional. And in doing so, you have gained a lot of information or knowledge or expertise, but you are coming toward the end of this because this is a 10. So any of these obstacles and challenges that may have presented themselves to you or may be still presenting themselves could be bypassed or made easier by way of this application of you knowing how to work it out and utilize some skills. Then as you bypass these challenges, this weight of this number 10 will also start to fade as you become more aware of the transformation and allow the light to shine and understand the truth of situations around you. Now, for some of you, this may be tied up with your career pathways, with changing career, with seeking more clarity within a career, of having some of you are trying to make people listen to you or understand you or listen to an idea or a concept you've got, and you feel as though they're not at the moment. And that's what these two cards kind of are suggesting. You know what you've got and you know that it's good, but somewhere in the middle the others are still like, really? Yeah, maybe next year. So unfortunately, some of these journeys take longer than you anticipate because not everyone else is on board. And you have to remember that timing is primarily, everyone's timing is actually unique. You know, we may have a clock on the wall and we may have a calendar on our desk, and we might say today is the 28th of January 2020. But to someone else, it isn't necessarily relevant. It might only be relevant to me at the particular time. So someone else may have another agenda for tomorrow that is more important, that they want to see happen. So our timelines are often crossing other timelines, and then our projects can also be thwarted, if you like, to a degree. But the importance of a 10 is don't give up. And the 4 of Cups is like an offer that may come in, and it can be tender and it can be addressed towards the heart. But this card is often about feeling ambivalent to it and sort of thinking, I think something better might come along. And again, this could be associated with these things that are going on here. So for some of you, this is a career-related concept or possibly a creative project, and there might be others who are putting ideas in or putting an offer to you and you're not quite satisfied with what's coming. Do look at it carefully, because often this is not as bad as you think. Some of you, it might be like an offer of love. Others, it might be like an offer of purchasing something like a home, you know, someone coming to buy your home or your car, or offering you a special deal on a big ticket item like going on a traveling trip. Anyhow, what else do we have here for Aries? The King of Pentacles. He was actually upside down and I flicked him the right way up. I'm not sure now what his message is. He is often an earth sign person, and he can be in charge of financial status quo. He can sometimes be a boss or an employer or a taxman or a lawyer. He does bode well in terms of feeling buoyant with money. He is the king of money himself. He could also be an earth sign person who is involved in your life one way or another. He might be someone that you meet. He might even tentatively be this person for some of you. A new mate coming in, or an increased frequency that is arcing and sparking between the two of you. He could also be someone who is offering a new job or a pay rise or financial increment. He could be the business partner that I mentioned before, because that card often represents business partnerships as well. So he has a few different meanings, but he does bode quite well for money, and for some of you it may even be tied in with this creative project that you've been having the obstacles and challenges with. Whether or not you need him to come in and help with this, or whether or not he's the one who is holding up the moving forward, those are possibilities as well. So he might need, if he's holding something up, he may be looking for more information from you. Perhaps you haven't given him enough documentation, enough information, enough accreditation, something along those lines. We have 2 more cards that arrived. Another Pentacles, it's his son, the Page of Pentacles. You know, this Page of Pentacles, in one of the books that I was reading recently, they call him the gift of one of life's most benevolent well-wishers, and especially in terms of prosperity, goodwill, harmony, peacefulness, solid, grounded, logical, dedicated, working ethics. He is almost looked upon, from the perspective that I read, as like an angel on the land. So again, he references earth sign people possibly, but when he turns up, he can be the forerunner of this money that his father holds. So this Pentacles money can be coming in. This can be the gentle, energetic connection to some sort of money arriving. It can be new ideas, new grounded feeling, new connection to earth, new awakening of the base chakra energy, which is our home, our finances, our families, our relationships, our feeling of being safe and grounded. So he's a much more profound card than one would first think, but he also has this offer of potential new jobs or changing in job situations. And then you had just one more cup card, the 5 of Cups. So you had a couple of 5s come in, and they could again be related somehow. These 3 here relate far more to career or monetary situations going on, and this one is bringing in the emotion to something. There could be a little bit of sadness about something that has not worked, or you have felt there hasn't been an equilibrium within a paradigm or working group or bunch of people, and that you feel you might have to move on or turn in a different direction. But when you do, I think all this and the sun is waiting for you. The light is waiting to be activated. Let's have a little look at a couple of the light keepers and see who might arrive for your reading. This is for February for Aries. Who might be out there for them, and what might the messages be? It's really interesting that these cards are popping up from the middle. Odin, ooh, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. Now, Odin is a mighty, powerful reckoner of the clouds, of the heavens, of very strong energy. And as I said that, oh, it feels like my third eye was opening. I felt all this movement around my head. Even felt like someone had their hand on the back of my head. So perhaps Odin is here, but he is the one who will create some of this transformation, as well as, what am I looking for? The judgment. These are the things that Odin could be, you know, putting weight into, and like, boom. He's also a protector for you to get rid of this energy. So if you feel there is anyone around you who has invaded a space or done something they shouldn't, and this could be at the physical or the emotional or the psychic, because for some of you here there's a psychic message that someone has been playing around with you at the psychic level. Odin can be someone that you can send in their direction, boom, and it will knock them back, believe me. So I might just read for you the words from Odin back into the picture to recharge this Aries energy reading. Odin is the Norse all-father god who is revered to the present day. He is a powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing god. His twin flame is Freya, and like her, he has a raven totem. The story goes that he surrendered one of his eyes at a mystical spring called Mimir, so that he could gain the wisdom of the ages. He is a strong but somewhat wild character who helps us reawaken our natural psychic instincts and open our third eye so we can look beyond the physical senses and into the spiritual realms. He also helps us recognize that it's okay to have insights into what's happening next. After all, we are the creators of our path. Odin guards the runic alphabet too and works closely with signs, symbols and omens. The extended message is you are being encouraged to look beyond what your physical eyes are showing you. Look within and follow your intuition or psychic visions. You may want to plan ahead at this time. It's important to keep your mind and energy focused on the best possible outcome. There will be signs and symbols from the light to tell you who they are on the right, to tell you that you are on the right path. Be aware of winged beings gracing your path as a wink from Odin and the light keepers to say that they are honouring your work. But I do think when Odin turns up, he turns up as a protector to protect you from negative energy or people that may be around you for whatever reason. And remember, this can also be galactic into the collective energy field as well. And especially if you are a light worker or thinking of the collective and you feel if there's something going on in February galactically or globally for humans, you might want to put Odin's energy out there as a protective suit of armor. So one more light keeper, keepers of the light. What other light keeper do we have in for Aries? This is turning into quite a long extended reading. You guys are the very last for the reading because, as I say, you had so few viewers last month that's just how it plays out. But I'm enjoying the reading. It seems really integrated. It seems like there's some fairly in-depth messages for those of you who do bother to tune in. Okay, one more. I'm thinking there's two. Bridget and Holy Amethyst, divine alchemy and inner strength. Move beyond current challenges and focus on what you desire. And Bridget, she doesn't come out very often, is inner strength. Move back to the wholeness and recognize that you have the power. She holds the fire there at her heart, and we are, of course, the fire sign, us Aries. Bridget may give you some inner strength, and divine alchemy is a little bit like the magician energy too. So some really nice keepers of the light that have turned out for you. And then one final card for the end of the reading, the cosmic Nari Anastasia cards. These are cosmic reading cards. What is it beneficial for Aries to know at this time? There's three. I'm not going to take three. We're only going to take one because I will read from the book. It's this one. Celestial Teacher. Number 7. I will just move these cards back a little bit. You are a spiritual being with unlimited potential. There is much for you to share. This card represents your ability to manifest a reality of your own choosing. You have come a long way in this world of manifestation. that you now find yourself in reflects the wisdom, insight and clarity you have embraced so far. If you have drawn this card, Spirit is encouraging you to share this wisdom with the world. Unlimited power, light and sacred knowledge flows through you, for your heart is open and your mind is clear. Trust in your abilities as a teacher, for you have a strong connection to the universal energies of love. Allow Divine Spirit to speak through you and trust in this process that is unfolding. Trust yourself and trust in what you know. Let go of any doubts or inhibitions that keep you from taking that next step. By not embracing and sharing the wisdom you hold, you deny the world the opportunity to experience your unique healing light. Many gravitate towards radiant souls who stand empowered. You're a natural teacher with natural counseling skills. By speaking your truth and sharing the lessons you have learnt, you inspire others to find the courage within them to do the same. Your own unique celestial light with the guidance of Spirit will bring much love, peace and clarity to this planet. The increased awareness and light that you have gained is an invaluable resource that will inspire many. Release all doubts and hesitation. Be the divine soul you came here to be. Be the light, love, peace and stillness that this world seeks. And there is an affirmation. I am confident as I embrace the teacher within me. I courageously share love, light and peace with this world. And the associated chakras are the heart, throat, third eye and crown. And just before we saw the heart was activated with Bridget, with the inner strength, and also in the heart space, Holy Amethyst's divine alchemy was also initiated. And at the same time, Odin, who came to activate your third eye, your seeing, all-seeing eye, and as well, you had the activation of the crown chakra and the third eye through spiritual union. So to me, those are the cards that seemed to offer an impromptu end of session awakening, healing and activation for you. And with that in mind, I am going to bring in my sound bowl. This is my one I've recently purchased. It is as magic. It starts off at the heart chakra and then activates itself up to the third eye chakra when the singing starts. So with these cards here, we will do an attunement for you all. For those of you who choose to stay, if you are not interested at this point, feel free to leave the video now. But this is an attunement for those of you who wish to stay, to have your activation of knowledge and awareness and teaching and light and celestial energies brought to life and created and freed up, bringing in a transformation. I am also bringing in some amethyst because we have holy amethyst on the table, so I'm bringing in some amethyst as well. So we have rose quartz, amethyst and clear quartz. This is the heart chakra energy. And then when the singing of the bowl is established, it jumps up to the third eye. May you all enjoy much beautiful divine alchemy, enhancing the celestial teacher in you, bringing you inner strength and helping to create a spiritual union that brings transformation with the backing of Odin and the psychic insight. I thank you all for joining the channel, for subbing, liking the video and leaving your comments. Check your moon and rising sign. And I shall see you all in March, and I wish you a fabulous magic February ahead. Namaste.